We are excited to bring you a word study scheduling tool that uncomplicates the process of creating a differentiated, staggered word study schedule. With just a few clicks, you'll have a magically customized word study schedule at your fingertips. Whether you choose a 7, 8, or 9-day cycle, you can design a routine that incorporates a variety of differentiated, impactful activities to help your students excel at learning to spell and understand words. Let's start with the first tab. This is where you can choose which groups to include in your schedule, as well as how many times the teacher will meet with them. This top section is where you select the groups that you would like to include. Click the drop-down arrows to select them. You must indicate whether each group will meet with the teacher once or twice. If you forget, an error message will pop up to remind you. The form starts with a default list of groups, but you can customize the names of each group in the table below. This table is where you can customize what each group is called. You can even include student names if needed. Any group names you specify here will show up in the Group Selection drop-down boxes. The next tab is where you can choose which activities to include in your schedule. The amount of activities you choose will depend on whether you're planning for a 7, 8, or 9-day schedule. Except for the first and last activities, which are required, you do not need to select a minimum number of these. Any chosen activities will cycle themselves in order to fill your schedule. For example, if I choose only Custom 1 and Custom 2, the schedule will look like this. Here we see that after a new word list, the Custom 1 and Custom 2 activities cycle until the last day. For simplicity, the last activity, Whole Group Day, will always be shown on the final day of the schedules, but it can really fall on any day you prefer. Notice how there are two columns of checkboxes. This is so you can differentiate activities between the Meet Once and Meet Twice groups. This is here because the Meet Twice groups likely need more support than their peers, which could translate into modified or differentiated activities. By default, the activities are listed in their recommended order. This is the order that they will cycle through on the schedules. The recommended order is shown here for your reference. However, if you have a different preference, you can choose to customize the sequence of activities that students move through. To do this, use the Custom Order section. Here we can use the drop-down boxes to choose the activities one by one in whatever order we'd like. Ignore the "Input must fall within specified range" errors. These are the result of a feature that excludes activities from the drop-down box if they've already been chosen. Remember to choose the order for both Meet Once and Meet Twice groups. This Custom Order section is optional and is only there in case you want to try a different order for your activities. There are 3 options for schedules: 7-day, 8-day, and 9-day. The only difference between these tabs is how long the activity cycle lasts. Let's look at the 7-day schedule for our example. The top box is where you choose whether you are using the recommended order or a custom order. Most of the time, this will remain at recommended order. After this, there are 2 options for creating your schedule, each with their own pros and cons. The one-click scheduler has more customization options and is more magical to use. However, you need to click the Create Schedule button each time you want to update the schedule. It also requires authorizing a Google script, which some people might not feel comfortable doing. The big advantage of the top schedule is that it lets you make additional changes after a schedule is created. After clicking the Create Schedule button to populate the schedule, you can drag and drop or copy and paste cells to make additional changes to the calendar. For example, maybe you want to give one group a break during the week, or for a different group to double up on an activity. The first time you use the Create Schedule feature, you must authorize Google Sheets to allow the script to run. The full script can be seen here. All this script does is link the Create Schedule button to pasting the schedule of selected activities. The automatic scheduler automatically updates after any changes on the Activity Chooser tab. This does not require Google Scripts. However, there are no additional customization options. The schedule automatically filters in, so you cannot drag and drop or copy and paste cells. Finally, this tab includes a description of what each default activity looks like. And that's all you need to create custom schedules for Word Study. To learn more about Tammy's Word Study program, visit tarheelstateteacher.com.